Extracting JPEGs from videos in Photoshop. First step, make yourself a new file. It doesn't matter what size, but you can match the video size or you can set your own size up. What size do you want it?
1280.
Oh, let's do that. 1280.
720.
Let's do that. 720. Marvellous. Okay, so in this new document, we're going to use the file menu. Place embedded or place linked, doesn't matter. We'll go place linked just for speed. And find the MP4 that you want to pull in. Click place. It should put it the size of the Photoshop file. I'm going to hit the return key or click the tick button to place that video file. Then we want to make sure that we're going to create the right sort of animation from the timeline panel. If your timeline panel is not visible, go to your window menu, choose timeline. Ours is, so we're okay. In the little drop down triangle to the right of create frame animation button, select create video timeline as your option and then click the create video timeline button, and here's our video. And we can see what we've got by clicking the play button in the timeline panel. Now there's a chunk of this video that we don't want to export out, so I'll stop that playing and you can drag your timeline slider around to get to the point you want to animate from. So we're going to animate from about here. So I've got my timeline indicator, don't know if that's its official name, but and I'm going to position my cursor over that left edge until it changes to a double-headed arrow, and just going to drag that in to crop that bit of the movie out. And because I want it to start right from 0 seconds, I'm going to drag that movie clip back to 0. Then scroll through with my timeline indicator to the point I want to stop extracting those images from. So we'll do a whole rotation on this plinth movie. Tell me when to stop.
Oh,
I
think.
Good?
Yeah.
Marvellous. So set our stop position, and I'm going to drag the right hand side of the video into that position. And if you want to just test it, you can use your play buttons. I'm going to go to the first frame, just hit the play button. A bit slow on this one, so just to speed things up, you can just drag your timeline indicator around to check that you're happy with where that starts and finishes. So that's our video clip ready to then get some frames from it. So the next step is to go into the timeline menu panel at the top right corner and choose to render video. Now by default it's quite likely that your render video window will say Adobe Media Encoder a third of the way down on that window. First thing you might want to do is change, well the first thing you've got to do actually is change this to Photoshop image sequence. And then the next things to do is really give that image sequence kind of a default name for each image. So we'll call this plinth, and then we'll go and select a folder in which to extract all those separate frames from. Here's one I made earlier. New folder, plinth images, create that new folder, choose that new folder, and then we determine how many images we want. Keep it as JPEG, and these are the numbers that the files are going to be sequentially named. Because you could end up with quite a few, you can choose the number of digits in your file extension. What controls how many images you get is the frame rate. So it might be set at kind of a default, like, was it 25? 24, 25. You'd get hundreds if we kept it at that. But because these are all intended for an animated GIF, we're going to knock this right down to 1 frame per second, and then literally click the render button. And it'll ask us what sort of quality. That's a lie, isn't it? Did we do render? It should. Let's go back into there. Render video. Should have asked us what quality our JPEG was in. Let's just check our settings. Anyway, that should have done it. So let's just see on our desktop if we've got that new plinth images folder, and there you have it. 23 individual JPEG files ready to go into your animation.